Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the philosophy from Supreme Expression, Volumes 1 and 2. And let me tell you, this is a journey that's going to challenge how you see pretty much everything. It all starts with one simple question. What if reality itself is just an idea? So, we're exploring a worldview that kicks off with this really radical question. What if the solid world all around us, the chair you're sitting on, the air you're breathing, what if it all actually comes from the very same place as our thoughts, our dreams, and our imagination? To even get our heads around that big idea, we've got to start small. Not with the universe, but right here, with our own minds. Let's really look at the mechanics of imagination. How does a simple little thought create an entire world inside your head? Okay, so this philosophy says our mind has two main players. First, you've got the aham tattva. The easiest way to think about this is as the doer, or the ego. It's the part of you that decides, hey, I'm going to think about this, or I'm going to do that. Then there's the citta. This is the actual mind stuff, kind of like a mental canvas that instantly takes the shape of whatever the doer decides to focus on. And check out how this works in practice. So let's say your doer, your aham tattva, decides to think of a specific place, like Chowringhee in Calcutta. Instantly, your citta, that mind stuff, takes the form of Chowringhee. And in that moment, something incredible happens. Your mind detaches from your physical senses, your eyes, your ears, and that imagined place becomes completely 100% real. For that split second, you are in Chowringhee. So this is the foundational idea right here. Your mind is constantly creating these little internal worlds that, while you're in them, feel totally real. Just like the quote says, the imagined object appears factual. And this isn't just some quirky little brain hack. This is the very building block for this entire philosophy. Okay, so a single mind can create its own reality. Got it. But can one mind create a reality for other people? This is where the whole thing gets really, really interesting, as we scale it up from just one person to a whole crowd. To explain this, the source gives us this perfect example of a magician's rope trick. Just picture it. You're in a crowd, and a magician throws a rope up into the sky. A boy starts climbing it. He climbs higher and higher, and then he just vanishes into thin air. A few moments later, he pops up from the back of the crowd. Everyone saw the exact same impossible event. But wait, here's the absolute mind-bender. If someone was standing just outside the magician's influence, they wouldn't see any of it. No rope, no boy, no trick. They would just see a magician standing there perfectly still with his eyes closed. Why? Because he wasn't doing a physical trick. He was projecting a thought so powerfully that it literally overwrote reality for everyone in that audience. You see how that one mind could project a reality onto many? Okay, now let's take that same exact principle and just blow it up to the ultimate scale. What if the magician isn't a person, but the entire cosmos? And this is it. This is the core belief, that a single, all-encompassing cosmic consciousness called Sugunya Brahma creates the entire universe as a thought, inside its own cosmic mind. It's the same exact process as you imagining Chowringhee, but instead of just one place, this cosmic mind is imagining, well, everything. And this creation isn't just some big bang. It's a deliberate, step-by-step process of, as the quote says, crudification, going from the most subtle thing imaginable down to the most solid. Let's trace that flow. It all begins with the purest, most subtle feeling of just I. Then, that I gets a little more defined, becoming the cosmic ego, the aham tattva, which has the feeling I do. Well, once there's a doer, it needs something to do on, right? That's citta, the cosmic mind stuff. From this purely mental level, reality gets even denser, becoming the very first physical element, ether, which carries sound. Then it gets even thicker, becoming air, which carries both sound and touch. And this process just keeps going until all of physical reality is form. Which brings us to this absolutely staggering conclusion. You, me, every star, every planet, every single particle in the universe. We are all thought projections. We exist entirely within this one vast cosmic mind. Our reality is a shared cosmic dream. Okay, so if we're all just characters in a cosmic thought projection, then what's the point? What are we supposed to be doing here? What is our individual purpose in all this? Well, the answer lies in our unique human duty, our dharma. And that duty is to undertake a spiritual practice called sadhana. If the creation of the universe was the journey from subtle to crude, sadhana is the journey back. It's the path of taking our individual, limited awareness and returning it to that unlimited cosmic source. And what I love is the imagery it uses. The ultimate truth, that cosmic consciousness, isn't some prize you have to go find out there. It's already within us. It's hidden like butter and curds or a river buried beneath the sand. The whole point of sadhana is to do the churning, to remove the sand of our own minds and to reveal the source that was right there, inside of us, all along. But here's a really important point. This inner journey isn't about escaping the world, not at all. In fact, it has huge implications for how we actually build our society and shape our collective future together. So the philosophy lays out this fascinating and maybe familiar social cycle. It says that history shows societies tend to get dominated by one particular mindset at a time. First, it's the laborers, then the warriors, then the intellectuals, and finally, the capitalists. But here's the kicker. Each age ends the same way. The dominant class starts exploiting everyone else, that leads to a revolution, and the whole cycle just starts all over again. So how do you break a cycle like that, an endless loop of exploitation? The answer, it suggests, is a completely new kind of person, a Sadvipra. Now, these aren't just another class trying to grab power. They're spiritual revolutionaries, people who are deeply moral and who are guided by that universal cosmic perspective we talked about earlier. And their job? Well, it's absolutely crucial. Get this. They don't want to rule. They are meant to be society's conscience. Their entire duty is to stand guard and make sure that whatever class is dominant at the time, whether it's warriors, intellectuals, or anyone else, doesn't start exploiting the others. They are the ultimate moral check and balance. And just like that, we've come full circle. We started with a single thought in your head, expanded out to the entire cosmos, and then brought it right back home to give us a profound purpose, to go inward, to find that cosmic source, and then to use that incredible realization to build a better, more just outer world. It all ends with this powerful personal challenge, a question for all of us. Are you ready to carry the torch?